Hi, how are you doing today? Awesome! Okay, so welcome back to the vlog and the YouTube channel. Today on Hey Jessica, we are talking about how to create an irresistible webinar. So I've talked in the past about how to set up a webinar, how to set it up for free, how to run one on Facebook Live. I've given you all the tools you need to actually create and set up and run a webinar. But a lot of you are wondering how you actually sell on your webinar and how you can make sure your webinar feels really good to the people who join and makes it really easy for them to say yes when you pitch at the end. So today you're getting my formula for creating and implementing and doing an irresistible webinar. Okay, so when I say irresistible, I mean a webinar that's going to convert into money, yo. So the point of a webinar, the entire premise behind running a webinar is that at the end you're going to sell. You're going to sell something, and if you've done it right, you're going to sell it, and people are going to be like, heck yes, me, sign me up, take my money, I want that. Okay, so first and foremost, you need to make sure that your webinar topic aligns very perfectly with your ideal client or customer who will be hopefully purchasing your thing at the end. So what I mean by that is if you have a course you're selling at the end, or a book, or a service, or a product, it doesn't matter, but you need to be thinking about the people who want to buy that. So your webinar topic needs to really appeal to the exact same people. If you're selling your web design services at the end of a webinar and you do a webinar on how to DIY your website, that's not doing anybody any good because those people want to DIY. They don't want to pay you to do it for them. Number two, you want to keep the fluff to a bare minimum. And by fluff, I mean introducing yourself and bragging about yourself and pimping out your own services at the beginning. You want to keep that very, very, very minimal. You want people to get to know you quickly, see you on camera, and then you want to get straight into delivering really awesome content. Now, number three, you want to entice them to stay until your pitch. But you're not going to say, hey, stay until my pitch, right? What you want to do is give them something for staying all the way until the end of your webinar. This can literally be anything that's easy for you to offer to a lot of people at once. And you'll just make sure that they cannot access it until the last slide of your webinar where you've already pitched and they've stayed until the end. So one way I did this is in my Ads Made Easy webinar where I sold that course on the end. I told them that, hey, if you stay until the very end of this webinar, I'm going to give you a free sales funnel map where you can fill in your own boxes and fill out your sales funnel. But you have to stay until the very end. And then on that very end slide, I gave them the link to go download that. I didn't have a sales page. They didn't have to sign up anywhere. It literally was the download link. So you can do this whether you're hosting your webinar for free or whether you are using a service. It really doesn't matter. Just entice them to stay until the end. Now, number four, and one of the most important, is to provide really amazing content during your webinar. Everybody can tell when they show up to a webinar and the person is holding back with the content. They're not giving it all because they want you to buy the thing at the end so you can get it all, right? So you really want to give those people what they want. Give them a lot of content for free and very, very useful and usable content for free. You want them to basically feel like they just purchased a course even though they got the webinar for free. And then your course or product or service or whatever is just even more information than what they just got. The reason you want to do this is because they're going to sit there and think, wow, if she just gave me all of that information for free, what is she going to give me if I actually pay her, right? So that's number four. Make sure you're teaching good, valuable content during your webinar. And then number five, and my final tip for how to create an irresistible webinar, is believe in your product and don't be afraid to sell it. get to the end of your webinar, you're done teaching, you have to believe in what you're selling. You have to be able to tell them how amazing it is, how amazing you are, how amazing their experience is going to be in the thing you're pitching, what result they're going to get in the end. So you want to wholeheartedly believe in everything you're telling them and really, really capture them in a way that they are like, wow, she really believes in her product. She really told me what I was going to get out of this at the end. There's no way I couldn't buy. So to sum it up, you want to create a webinar topic that is crazy relevant to the same people who will want to buy what you're selling at the end. Then you'll want to keep all the introductory and fluffy stuff to a bare minimum. Then you'll want to entice them to stay until the very end. You want to make sure that they're wanting to stay until the end, even if it's just to get the free thing you're giving away. And then you'll want to teach the pants off of them. Make sure they're getting really valuable content from the free webinar so that they'll really want to give you their money. And then number 5, and the final way to create an irresistible webinar, is to make sure that you believe in your product, service, or course that you're selling at the end and sell it. Don't be afraid to sell and believe in it so much that they couldn't help but want a piece of what you're talking about. Okay, so a couple of things. If you're wanting to create your own irresistible webinar, I have a free template for Google presentation where you can download it and change it to match your colors and your branding, but it is essentially my stack of slides that I use for every webinar. So I'm showing you where to put the introduction, where to put the teaser content, where to put your actual teaching content, and how to sell at the end. If you want a piece of that, go grab that from the blog post, which you can access by clicking below if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching in the blog post, you're already here. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe because I want you back all the time, learning with me, techie and nerdy business things. So subscribe, see you later, bye.